parts of an image. I just realized that I had not gotten to the start of the image. Let me just really quick go to my history and go to the beginning. Okay, so I want to get rid of the skewers, and so the first tool I'm going to try is my content aware tool, which is this one here. It's currently grayed out because I haven't selected an area. So I'm going to first go, there's many ways to select areas, but let's just choose this one for starters. And it's called the lasso tool, and this one. And what you do is you just select an area, and I tend to go into the other area a little bit so it's kind of can sample everything. And then it's just one step. Deselected. So I click something that I shouldn't have clicked. So once again, then you just go to Edit, Content Aware Fill, and it fixes it. As you can see, it looks good. Now, if you're not happy, I notice there's a little artifact in here. You can do it again, but I'm gonna use a different tool. But it won't work if you have the layers there. You have to flatten the layers first before you move on. So you just go down to flatten, okay? Then you can do it again, but I'm not gonna do content aware this time. I'm gonna use the other tool that helps with this. It's called the clone stamp, and you just go to clone stamp, and then I'm looking at the circle here, and I'm gonna make that a little bit bigger. You gotta kind of play around with things here in Photoshop. So I'm holding down my Option key and I'm selecting a sample right here. And make sure you're sampling from an area where the tone and the color is very similar. If you sample from way up here, that's too light compared to what's here. So I'm gonna start right here because it's the same tone, and I'm going to, that's my sample. And then wherever I drag, it's going to basically copy that, okay? And I'm gonna clean up a little bit more, clone stamp, while holding the Option key, and there, that looks pretty good. Now I'm gonna try the next section and part, and I'm gonna try content aware again. So I'm going to hit Control Lasso. I'm saying Control because I'm on a trackpad. You don't have to worry about that. You just right click if you're using a mouse. Then I'm gonna select an area again. And let's see how Photoshop does on this content aware. Pretty good, except it has a little bit of smudge there, but we're gonna use the clone stamp to fix that. I'm doing Command D to deselect. And so once again, you have to flatten first. All right, once it's flattened, you go to the clone stamp this time. And then you sample an area, and then wherever you, oops, that's not the area I wanted to fix that. So sample an area, and then basically just do that. Clean it up pretty good. And actually there's a little stuff there still. Clean that up. And then same here, I need to clean this up a little bit. Yeah. Okay, so then I don't need to flatten it because it's already flattened. So now I'm gonna try content aware again, but before I use it, I have to select an area. So lasso tool, and gonna kind of go into the banana a little bit. Okay. And try it again, edit, content aware. Got rid of it pretty good, but there's some leftovers. So let me try one thing. Let me try not going into the banana as far. So Command D, I'm going to use my selection tool again. I'm just going to go in about that far this time and see if this helps it. Okay, content aware. Fill. Yeah, it's cleaner. So sometimes you have to play with it a little bit, and I'm going to flatten my area again. And then you basically just continue this until you have the entire, all of the skewer gone. I'm not going to show you all the way because it will take too long. So I'm just going to deselect this quick. Okay, so you will continue till the whole skewer is gone. Now I'm looking at this image and my background is pretty gray. So I'm going to try and do a little color correction. Before I do, I'm going to flatten all this stuff. Okay, and color correction is where you go up to image, you go up to adjustments. You can actually try autos first, so let's just really quick give this a shot. Auto color. That brightened it up a little bit. But I'm going to undo that, Command Z, and I'm going to do it using the actual tool. So let's start with levels. So as you can see, most of the color here is in this area here. I'm just going to play around. I recommend you do the same. I'm going to take my blacks and move them over a little bit. That makes it too dark, so I don't like that. I'm going to try my whites and bring them down a little bit. Actually, that helped quite a bit. Let's see what happens when we do the mid-ranges. Okay, once again, this mouse I'm using, so that helps a lot too. So you just play around with those until you get it, but it also has an auto. I don't like what auto did, so I'm going to go back to the way I had it. All right, so that makes the background look a little bit better. Now I'm looking at the peel, you know, it's yellow, and I'm gonna experiment, which is just what you probably should do. And, but I just want the yellow of the banana selected. And so in this case, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my quick selection tool, which is right here, or my object selection, excuse me, object selection. And I'm just gonna double click out here. Might have to unlock that. And then drag and let it do its thing, and it selected it all. So now with that selected, I can go up here, back up to my adjustments, and I can mess around again. I'm going to start with levels, and now it's only going to work on the banana, and the colors are pretty evenly distributed, but we're trying to bring out the yellow a little bit, but not too crazy, just a slight change. Let me try my mids. Okay, I like that a little bit better. And you also have auto, but I like custom. So that's not too shabby. It looks pretty good. I'm gonna deselect here. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to do an inverse. And now selecting the white background, and I'm going to mess around a little bit more with the background. I'm gonna start by going to brightness and contrast, and I'm gonna see what happens when I go with my brightness. Oh, that's kind of cool. Made it all nice and white. All right. Actually, I'm looking at this, and that looks pretty good. Obviously, I didn't take out the other skewers. I did notice that there's kind of just some pieces of the banana there, but I just think that's the way the banana was. If you want to get rid of that, once again, you can go back to your clone stamp tool, which is this one, and use your control key to sample, and then just do that if you want to clean it up a little bit. Okay, and then when you're done, I mean, I would have worked on this more, but when you're done, you simply, once again, go to layer, you go to flatten, and then you save it, and save it as a JPEG. Mine's called Banana Shula. We'll do that, but I want to keep, I'm going to make this one. Can make it whatever. I just don't want it to get rid of the original. Save it, and okay, and then I'm done.